Hey guys, welcome to the week 2 Faster Way to Fat Loss training video. This week we're going to talk about carb cycling. So this is our last pillar of the Faster Way to Fat Loss program. And after this week, or during this week, we're actually going to learn kind of how to put everything together. So the carb cycling is, like I said, the last piece of the puzzle. So we're going to focus on carb cycling this week. So what that means is we're going to have 2 days that we eat low carb and then 5 days that we eat regular carb. So that is where we call it carb cycling. When it comes to carb cycling in the Faster Way to Fat Loss program, what we recommend is that you have 2 low carb days per week. So that means that you will eat 50 or less net carbs. I will tell you about net carbs in just a few minutes. So typically we will have those low carb days on Mondays and Tuesdays. I'll go ahead and just say this now. If you ever need to change those days, it is okay, but you also need to change the exercise with those days, and they also need to be consecutive. So it needs to either be Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so forth and so on. So it needs to be 2 days in a row that you do the carb cycling. And it should, later on in the program, don't zone out on me when I say this, there is an optional, completely optional 24-hour fast. Certain people will not participate in the 24-hour fast, but certain folks will. So if you do participate in the 24-hour fast, we won't be able to do it either a day before or a day after a low carb day. So because you will need those carbs to kind of help sustain you through that 24-hour window. So, but don't get all hung up on that. We'll talk about that later. But as far as the carb cycling goes, like I said, we will focus on eating 50 or less net carbs. The way that you get net carbs is you look at the total number of carbs that you have eaten. So it would say total carbs on MyFitnessPal. I will show you my phone screen here in just a minute so that you will see what I'm talking about. And then you will subtract the amount of dietary fiber that you have had for the day from your total carb count. So let me share my phone screen with you. And in a few minutes, we're going to talk about why we carb cycle and what, oh shoot, let's see here. I clicked the wrong one. Okay, just a minute. It's going to pop my phone up after I confirm that it's okay to, oops, let me get rid of all this other junk in the background so it's not distracting. And cancel. Okay, so, okay, putting the passcode in. Okay, so this is a screenshot of my, MyFitnessPal nutrients screen. This is the screen that I will want you to take a screenshot of every day going forward. So I want this screenshotted and I want it downloaded, or not downloaded, but I want it posted in the macro thread for the day that goes along with this. So this is a screenshot from my Monday, August the 12th. So it was just one that I randomly selected that looked like one of my better days. So typically I do really good on low carb day, but this was the one that I selected for whatever reason. But anyway, so what you will do is you will go to the nutrients screen. You'll see that it says today, and then it says the time, and then right underneath that, or at the top of the screen, right underneath that says nutrients. And then you'll see calories and macros. Don't worry about those 2 screens. Stay out of those screens. They will do nothing but confuse you. We're going to focus on nutrients. So you'll see at the top it says protein. It tells you your total, your goal, and how many you have left. Right underneath that is carbohydrates. So you'll see my total for the day was 72 carbohydrates. It says I had 200 left, but there's no way to change between a low macro and a regular macro day, or a low carb and a regular macro day in MyFitnessPal. So this is just going to have to be something that you manually track and do the math manually. So underneath that, you'll see that I have fiber. So it says that I had 72 grams of carbs, and then it said that I had 15 grams of fiber. So I would subtract 15 from 72, and that is the total number of net carbs that I have for the day. Okay, so let's just use some easy numbers here. So say this number here was 60. this number, say that the total carbs were 60 and the fiber was 10, that would mean that I had 50 net carbs for the day. Low carb days are the only days that we will focus on net carbs. The other days, we're just simply going to count our total carbs and be done with it, okay? So I think that that is perfectly clear. If you have questions, make sure that you either comment in this video or on our live training that will follow this in the evening. So let me stop sharing my phone screen. And I want to tell you a little bit about why we do carb cycling in the Faster Way to Fat Loss. So the benefits of carb cycling, actually let me start with long-term restrictions of carbohydrates. So if you have long-term restriction of carbohydrates and calories, it can lower your metabolic rate, and it actually can negatively affect your hormone levels. This is a big reason why women find themselves at one of those dreaded weight loss plateaus. So I'm sure you all have been there. I've definitely been there. I don't think we would be here if we haven't been there before. So for a short period of time, a significantly restrictive diet will bring you results. So notice I said for a short period of time. So long-term carb restriction, calorie restriction is not a good thing, okay? So once your metabolic rate decreases, your weight loss will stop and will need to restrict even further to lose more weight, thus lowering your metabolic rate once again. And it's a cyclical effect. So you would have to once again reduce the amount of food that you take in, and then once you did that, your metabolic rate would go down again. So that's why you don't do long-term restrictions. Okay, that is a terribly unhealthy way to live. And it's also incredibly frustrating. You're always playing catch up, and you're never going to be able to get those results and turn your journey into a lifestyle, okay? So the benefits of carb cycling, let me hit on those now. Planned high carb days allow for more variety in carb-rich foods that you eat during the week. So 5 of our days are going to be high carb days, or what we call regular macro days, which means we will eat our regular amount of macros. Planned low carb days, which should be on Monday and Tuesday, allow for more variety in fat-rich foods that you eat during the week. So let me say this. Low carb days, I want you to keep your protein the same, your fats really high. I'm talking go over 20 to 30 on your fats. Trust me on this. Eat the heck out of healthy fats. I will post information here in just a few minutes about which fats are healthy to eat, some ideas for some low carb day snacks and all that stuff. So, and potential, it also gives you the potential for increased fat loss, as low carb days encourage your body to access fat for energy. And it also improves insulin sensitivity and your metabolic flexibility. A flexible metabolism means that you can easily switch to accessing carbs for energy and fat for energy, which is ideal for your long-term health. So we're not worried about short-term here. We're not worried about what you're going to gain in 8 weeks, even though we want you to gain lean muscle and lose fat, and that we want you to get those short-term effects, but we're also more invested in and more worried about your long-term health here, okay? Carbs and carb cycling also provide you with hormone support, particularly your thyroid. Also, cortisol and estrogen and progesterone, I can't talk tonight. Chronic low-carb eating patterns can be detrimental to your hormone function. For women especially, it can actually shrink your ovaries. I know that's crazy, but that is exactly what it is. So let me recap before I get off of here. So on low-carb days, we're going to keep it at 50 or less net carbs. So net carbs is your total carbs minus the amount of dietary fiber that you have taken in that day. That will give you that total number, okay? So I want you to eat lots of fat, go over on your fats 20 to 30 grams. Keep your protein the same, okay? And then also on your low carb days, or actually any day, I want you all to get used to starting to take a snapshot of your nutrient screen and to post it in the group, okay? So let me see if there's anything that I have forgotten. Let me read through my notes. I do not think so. So look for the post that is going to have some low carb day treats and or snacks and meals and some just some good sources of fat to go along with that, so that you will know how to plan your day. So and also I'll say, if you've been following the meal plan with the Faster Way to Fat Loss, then that means you've already been doing carb cycling and you really didn't even realize it. So if you could do that, then you can definitely do this. And I actually love low carb days because I can munch down on peanut butter, almond butter. I still have some carbs on low carb day. So I'll give you also a little cheat sheet with which fruits are best to eat on low carb day, the lower carb fruit. So just make sure with your low carb days, it's very important to plan ahead. So the day before, really try to get as much information into MyFitnessPal about what you will be eating the next day as you possibly can, okay? That helps you make sure that you don't go over on your carbs. Remember also that we're practicing progress over perfection. I'm not going to say anything if you accidentally have 60 net carbs versus 50. We're not going to harp on that. We're going to focus on your progress, and we're going to focus on being positive and celebrating our wins and our non-scale victories, okay? So with that being said, I want you to post in this video below in the comments. I want you to post what your non-scale victory was for week 1. I keep wanting to say week 2, but because we had prep week before. So this is actually week 2. So I'm reminding myself of that. So post in the comments below what your non-scale victory was for the week, okay? And I will see you guys later, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on our live training, actually our live question and answer. So see you guys later. Bye.